Good evening.
Hello.
Hi, everyone.
Hi again. Okay, before getting started, let me tell you a few words. Okay, economic and social progress over the last century has been accompanied by environmental degradation, and that is endangering the systems on which our future development depends. And that's why it is crucial to develop awareness among teenagers like you about the topic and create opportunity for them to elaborate it actively. So we created this project. In this project, the topic will be elaborated under 6 themes, and one of them is energy. To learn more about energy, I am really happy to introduce you, Mr. Türe. Let me tell you a few words about his experiences. After graduating from the Department of Engineering Physics, Ankara University in 1969, he worked as a resource scientist at Ankara Nuclear Resource Center until 1977. After serving for 3 years as a lecturer at Middle East Technical University, which is one of the most prominent universities in Turkey, he went to Durham University in UK, and where he worked as a research assistant, and at the same time he completed his PhD degree there. He continued to work at the Durham University in a postdoctoral research capacity until September 1985, before he joined General Electric Company as a semiconductor laser group leader at the Hilt Resource Center, London. Following his return to Turkey in 1990, he first worked at Gaziantep University and later joined the Marmara Research Center, TÜBİTAK, as the head of energy department. In 1998, he was appointed as a professor at Mimar Sinan University in Istanbul and worked as the head of physics department until 2004. Following this, he was appointed as an associate director to International Center for Hydrogen Energy Technologies in 2005, where he worked as director of the center until 2008. Then he joined Haliç University as the president until 2010. Dr. Türe is currently working as the president of Clean Energy Foundation, and needless to say, he has been inspiring not only the university students, but also high school students who have been interested in energy. Okay. So, Mr. Türe, I don't want you to keep you waiting and leave the word to you.
Okay. Shall I start now?
Yes, please, if you are
okay. Well, hi, everyone. Well, today I will be giving some information about renewable energies and environment. But since there is a time limit, it's going to be an overview, so I cannot go into details. Now, first of all, I would like to talk about fossil fuels and its environmental damages. These fuels, as coal, oil, natural gas, these are known to be fossil fuels. Uranium is also a fossil fuel, and the damage of nuclear power is unbelievable, but I am not going into that now. Later on, maybe I can talk about it. Well, as a consequence of extensive use of fossil fuels, the health of our world is declining. In here, you can see clearly the situation is getting worse in the last decades. Those fuels emit greenhouse gases to the atmosphere. Among them, the major contribution is from carbon dioxide, as you see, is 56%. There are also other gases emitted from these fuels. Here are the contribution of global warming gases. They also give damages during their extraction and transportation. Now, oceans play a very important role since they absorb huge amount of carbon dioxide. If the salt balance changes due to melting ice in Arctic regions, oceans may give away their carbon dioxide, and the result will be disastrous. In here, you can see the change of surface temperature measured over the years and see the increase of around 1 degree Celsius. Well, this may seem very small, 1 degree, but could make a drastic change on climate. But think of a human being yourself, increasing body temperature from 37 to 38 degrees, you become sick. Very similar effect can happen to our world as well. Another important problem, of course, is the water shortage because of climate change. When we look into the poor countries, the fresh water consumption is limited to 10 liters. But in highly developed and the consumption goes up to nearly 900 liters per day. It's about 300% more. Well, in the world, nearly 2 billion people are in short of drinking water now. According to detailed studies of fossil fuels or their damages have been calculated on different areas. They are shown in here. Studies have shown that fossil fuel can damage not only humans, but almost everything around us, such as animals, forests, plants, aquatic systems, surface mining, climate change, sea level rise. So the calculation based on dollars per gigajoule. What does it mean, gigajoule? Gigajoule corresponds around 2 buckets of coal. Fossil fuel consumption in 2019 is around 13,924 million ton oil equivalent, is about 5.8, 10 to the 11 gigajoule. Well, if we use that much amount, of course, the damage will be also very high. So the corresponding total damage is nearly $11,000 billion, means $11 trillion in 2019. Well, this is around nearly 75 times more than Turkey's general budget. And the other question is, well, can nuclear energy could be a solution for global warming and climate change? The answer is certainly no. As you see in here, some of the hazards of nuclear energy. It starts from the uranium ore, drilling, blasting, crushing, grinding. They're all energy-consuming processes. And uranium enrichment, reactor operation, radioactive waste, nuclear weapons, atomic bomb tests, even the bombs used in Hiroshima and Nagasaki, all these, of course, give a lot of hazards, nuclear energy hazards. During the operation of nuclear reactor, many radioisotopes are created which do not exist naturally on Earth. These radioisotopes may remain for a long time on Earth and can cause many problems. Some of them require millions of years to become safe. Here is the list of some isotopes and the years required to be safe. As you see in here, for instance, hafnium-182 is 9,000 years. Iod-129 is 150 million years. These are the short ones. Look at these ones. Potassium-40 is 10 billion years. Rhenium-187 is 500 billion years. So you see, nuclear is not a very good choice. Many countries have already decided not to use nuclear. These countries, Sweden, Japan, Belgium, Germany, Austria, Italy, and Switzerland. I made a joke in here, say undeveloped countries, poor countries, but of course, this is not true. Anyway, nuclear energy, as a summary, is extremely expensive and energy-consuming method to produce energy in the long run. Well, for Turkey, it's nearly 100% dependent technology for us. Some radioactive waste will last at least 5 billion years. There are risks such as earthquake and terror. Decommissioning of a reactor is more expensive than the installation, and it will provide 90% recruitment to the people in the other countries, but not for us. There is no possibility of having nuclear weapon because it's been prohibited by the International Atomic Energy Agency. Now, the other question is, of course, over the years, this question is in people's mind, are renewable energies capable of meeting energy demand of the world? Well, this table, I think, answers that question. Except hydro, each of these renewable energies, solar, wind, biomass, and geothermal, are all capable of meeting the world energy demand many times over. Now we look into these renewable energy sources starting from solar. Solar energy can be examined in two parts, thermal and photovoltaic, because solar provides us heat and also photons, which can be converted into electricity by the help of electronic devices called solar cells. Well, solar energy, of course, sunlight striking Earth's surface is just 1 hour delivers enough energy to power the world economy for an entire year. It's, of course, it's hypothetical, but in reality, for instance, solar PV installation on 1/5 of a Sahara desert is also capable of providing enough energy to meet the whole energy demand of the world. And this is technically possible, of course. Installation of PV panels on nearly 2 million kilometers square area on different parts of the world, for instance, rooftops, lakes, deserts, unused lands, of course, plausible and feasible. Well, some technologies, for instance, for water heating, because we use solar energy for water heating as well, and also produce energy, produce electricity. These are some methods, technologies used for water heating. You know it's quite well because in Turkey we have lots of them on top of our roofs. You must have seen it's flat panel collectors and also some vacuum tube collectors as well. In here, some technologies also produce electricity from sun. These are the thermal energy technologies used for electricity production. And these are linear concentrator systems, solar power towers, and solar dish Stirling engines. These are the technologies can be used for production of electricity. Now you see in here the world's largest solar power station. It's nearly 528 megawatt. It's been installed in Morocco. There are some others, of course, in the other parts of the world. We come to the high technology devices developed over the years, which they convert sun photons, photon energy, into electricity. They are called solar cells. There are, of course, different types of solar cells. In here, I can show you polycrystalline, monocrystalline, PV ribbon, amorphous silicon, copper indium selenide, and also organic tin films, cadmium telluride, etc. These are all newly developed solar cells. Some of them been built many years ago, but some of them quite recent. In here, I can show you the installed solar energy power by country in 2019. When you look at it, China is leading, something about 204 gigawatt. It's about quite a lot. Compared to Turkey's nearly 80 gigawatt installed power in Turkey. This is really a big number. United States is about 75 gigawatt, Japan and Germany. And Turkey has recently managed to go nearly 7 gigawatt solar power. Now, of course, in order to provide this power, we have solar farms. Solar farms are the ones that, you just put the solar cells in large areas. So these are called solar farms. This is the largest solar farm in Turkey, Konya. It's about 22.5 megawatt. And I think they are going to build another one is much bigger in Karaman region. Solar energy could be applied in different places. For instance, on solar roads, like in here, it's 160 kilometer solar powered highway in China. And also you can apply on lakes. This is a very good idea because lakes surfaces are quite good for solar cells. Here's some applications of solar floating solar farms. And also you can use solar energy in buildings. They're called building integrated solar cells or solar power. So here are some of them. There are many examples in other parts of the world, especially in Germany, there are a lot. And these are some solar powered boats. And these are some solar planes. Now we come to another important subject, which is solar cooling. It's obviously contradictory. I mean, solar energy and cooling, but I can assure you that the most efficient, logical, and effective use of solar energy is cooling. I've been working in this field since 1970s. I believe solar cooling is the best because we have intense sun in summer months, June, July, August. In these months, we don't need heating, but we need cooling. So if we can produce electricity from sun at these months more, that means we can use that electricity to power our air condition units. It's simple as that, because air condition units work with electricity. If I produce electricity from sun, then I can use the sun energy against itself. So this is the best way of using solar energy. Solar cooling is the best. There's no other way. Solar can never be used for heating, but can be used for cooling. So over the years, I developed several solar cooling systems. Many years ago, I managed to go down minus 20 degrees Celsius for a freezer. I also developed some solar powered air condition unit with remote control for mobile phone base stations. So these are some examples of that. I managed to do that. Now we come to another renewable energy, which is wind energy. I think wind energy, you know quite well because it's well known in the world. Here is one of the largest wind turbine by GE, and it's about 13 megawatt in a single turbine. There are also wind farms, some of them offshore and some onshore. So there are lots of types of, wind farms. And when you look at the installed wind power by country, again, China, we see 187 gigawatt installed power. United States, again, is following it, and Germany, India, and so on. Turkey is, again, nearly 7 gigawatt energy installed. Now, another one is biomass. Biomass is why is important, because energy, the main problem of energy cannot be stored. We cannot store energy in batteries, for instance. It's limited. So there are two ways of storing energy. One is for the help of photosynthesis to the plants, and the other one is hydrogen. So this is the way how we can store energy. This is just simply wood. So we can burn the wood and then use that for heating or any other things, any other way. Now that means biomass, when the plants growing, they actually absorb carbon dioxide from the atmosphere. And when we burn them, as like wood, they give the same amount to the atmosphere, and the net balance will be zero. So advantages of biomass, of course, the energy security, job creation, especially in the rural areas. We can also produce solid, liquid, and gas fuel, heat, electricity, and fuel for vehicles, environmentally friendly because it doesn't contain sulfur dioxide or something like that. So it's very good. Another one is geothermal. Well, as you know, we have a very hot furnace inside of our Earth called magma. That means to produce electricity from geothermal sources, we send water or oil to the deep wells, and we drive our generators by steam received from these wells. Here are some pictures of geothermal sources, and of course, geothermal power stations. Now, these are the countries installed geothermal power. As you see, Turkey is in the 4th place because we have lots of geothermal potential, especially in the Denizli area, in the western part of Turkey. So this is used quite a lot. Now, coming back, another area which I believe is the best, hydrogen. Everyone Jules Verne, because he is a science fiction writer, and he has many novels, such as From the Earth to the Moon, 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea, Around the World in 80 Days, etc. Interestingly, many of his foresights, predictions, have been realized. In his another novel, it's called Mysterious Island, 1874, he states that, yes, my friend, I believe that water will one day be employed as fuel, that hydrogen and oxygen, which constitute it, used singly or together will furnish inexhaustible source of heat and light of an intensity of which coal not capable. When the deposits of coal are exhausted, we can use that heat and warm ourselves with water. So water will be the coal of the future. So this is really a very nice prediction, and I believe it wholeheartedly, because I worked in hydrogen business a lot. Now, when look at that hydrogen, first of all, let me tell you this. How we produce hydrogen is very simple. As you know, in the primary school, if you just take a glass of water and put two metals on it, and then put a battery outside to the metals, then one metal you get oxygen, and the other metal you get hydrogen. So it's called electrolysis. This way you can split water into oxygen and hydrogen. So why hydrogen energy? Is because depletion of fossil fuels in the near future, they are not indefinite, so they will definitely be depleted in one day. Price increases of fossil fuels, requirement for an alternative synthetic fuel. Hydrogen also has a very high energy value. It's about 3.5 times more than gasoline, because it's a rocket fuel. I mean, it's used to power the rockets to the space. Hydrogen is safer than other fuels. Hydrogen can be converted to energy in many ways. Water is the main raw material for green hydrogen production. And also hydrogen is a link between intermittent renewable energies. As you know, solar energy, wind energy are not reliable, because when there is no wind, there is no energy. When there is a cloud, there will be no sun energy. So in order to make them continuous, you can store these energies into hydrogen, and you can use it anytime you like. So these are the energy content of fossil fuels and hydrogen. As you see, hydrogen is far better than any other fuels. And safe, well, this experiment been conducted in Sweden. And as you see, one car being filled with gasoline, another one is hydrogen. In about 3 seconds, you see the situation. And after a minute, the gasoline car is completely burned out, but hydrogen car is safe. And the driver saved. So green hydrogen means you can actually produce hydrogen from water by the help of renewable energies, and that means you produce green hydrogen. And hydrogen production options, wind energy, biomass, etc. And there is an infrastructure. Unfortunately, in our country, they don't know it, but it's already been realized in many countries, in the United States, Japan, in Germany. There are many countries using hydrogen cars and hydrogen submarines, hydrogen planes, everything. Look at these cars. These are all hydrogen cars.
And they look pretty cool, in fact, right?
Yeah, I hope you like the cars.
Definitely.
This is the fastest car because it's a very energetic fuel. So when you put that fuel, it's 3 times more than the gasoline. Of course, the car can go faster. I like this one. This has been in the Las Vegas Fair, and this is the Mercedes car. And this is commercially sold in Germany. And I just would like to take your attention to this area. This is an exhaust area. It's called H2O. That means many of the vehicles in front of you, they are emitting a lot of dangerous and cancerogen gases. And yet this car emits only pure water. It's H2O. And this is a hydrogen-powered submarine. And of course, Greece now ordered the second one to Germany. And this is a hydrogen plane. And of course, I believe in the near future, there will be no shortage of fresh water and energy, because the estimated amount of water in oceans, I can't read the number, but it's a lot. And world freshwater requirement is only 1 in a billion. That means a very small amount compared to the quantity of water in oceans, so we can actually split water, seawater, into hydrogen and oxygen, so we can use it, and there will be no shortage of energy. And let me ask you a question, but I think I put the slides, you will know it now early a bit. Those companies who are interested in hydrogen, guess the name of the companies: Shell and of course BP. These are the companies investing in hydrogen business a lot. Why? It's because when the oil depleted, they are not going to close their shops and go away, but of course they are going to sell hydrogen this time. So this is why they are investing in hydrogen business. They see the future. Now, finally, I would like to...
Because of their sustainability, I guess, they have to invest.
Yes, of course. And finally, I just would like to suggest students that study on renewable energies, because there will be a large number of job opportunities in the near future. They're already investing about trillions of dollars in renewable energy sector. So who would like to find a job easily, I would suggest go to the renewable energy business. I think this is just...
Sir, let's put a big exclamation mark here. Students, please concentrate on, focus on the renewable energy sectors for your future, I guess, right?
Well, I think that's just an overview that tried it very short and, summary. If you have any questions, I will be glad to answer.
Okay, students, I guess we have required you to write your questions to our forum pages, and well, as far as I watch all the presentation, I'm pretty sure that Professor Doctor has already answered all the questions that you have asked, but so if you have any further questions, please ask now. So, Professor, I guess my students are really very curious about the city Freiburg, okay? So, and I know that you have been to Freiburg many times, and you have a lot of experience, you have a lot of things to say to us. And would you like to share your experiences about that city?
Well, first, in 1990s, I was working in the TÜBİTAK Energy department, because I was the head of that. And I actually proposed the NATO project, and NATO has appointed a consultant from Freiburg, Fraunhofer Institute. And so I went to Fraunhofer and worked with our consultant there. And that was the first time I've been to Freiburg. And I was really amazed and, of course, impressed with the city, because it's a clean city. It's a lot of, new renewable energy projects there. And the first time I've seen a house which is self-sufficient. It's actually been built by Professor Adolf Götzberger, who is the one who invented photovoltaic devices in 1950s in Bell Laboratories in the United States. And he is the one actually established Fraunhofer Solar Energy Institute in Freiburg. So I worked with him as well. And I spent some time there, and I liked it very much. So Freiburg is full of renewable energy projects, and there are really a very clean city. Everyone is using bicycles rather than cars, still like that. And many years later, in the 2010, I think, my son went there for a training, and then he liked it very much. He decided to go there, and he's been now working in Fraunhofer Institute in the last 9 years. So we've been going to Freiburg almost every year, sometimes twice, 3 times. And because my son is there, and we have a house there, so we are visiting Fraunhofer Institute every time. And of course, each time we liked it more and more. So this is a very impressive city. If you have time and opportunity, I would suggest you to go and visit the city, and you will be amazed, how a clean city, sustainable city can be. So you can see that.
Okay, and I guess we have a question here from Victoria, our Ukrainian friend,
Yes.
our Ukrainian teacher, and
Yeah.
she asks, what main message would you like to give younger generation?
Well, I think in my last slide, I have already given that, because concentrate on the renewable energies, and I believe the future will be renewable energies, and particularly hydrogen. This is the way how we can survive, how we can protect or make our world better, because there will be no shortage of water, clean water, and energy if we use oceans to produce hydrogen by using, again, wind, solar, biomass energy. So we use renewable energies to produce hydrogen from seawater. That means the seawater is huge amount. I mean, cannot be depleted, can be lost, I think, billions of years. It's huge amount of water there. So why we are short of water? We don't need that. We can produce more. For instance, in Malta, in Saudi Arabia, in United Arab Emirates, in Dubai, and other places, they are actually producing water from sea. So this is a very simple technique. It's called reverse osmosis. But of course, producing hydrogen from seawater is even better, because then you can produce energy as well. You can kill two birds with one stone, they call it.
So it is also answering the question of Anneke Pullman from Germany, I guess, because she
Yes.
has just asked which kind of renewable energy is the best. So, Miss Professor, you think that hydrogen energy is the best thing that we should all invest our time and energy for, right?
Not really, because we can use wind and solar energy to produce hydrogen. So we have to use solar and wind energies to produce hydrogen. So hydrogen is not itself is a primary energy source. It's like electricity is a secondary energy source. So we have to produce it in a way. That means solar energy and wind energy, as I said before, it's a green hydrogen, means using these renewable energies to produce hydrogen. That will be the best. So this combination of solar and wind to produce hydrogen is the final solution, ultimate solution.
Ultimate solution. Okay. Very well. Thank you. And as far as I see, there is no question that you haven't answered so far. And thank you for this. Of course, we have a lot to tell about you. Thank you for your participation and contribution to this session, Professor. Let me tell you a few words to express our gratitude. So do we have anything to say?
Thank you.
Yep.
Özkan Hocam, yes, we are listening to you.
Yes, I wonder, for example, thank you so much for your participation and for your contribution, Hocam. I would like to ask that you said that solar energy and wind energy is cheap, and why our country invest to nuclear energy if wind and solar energy is, because as you said before, many countries, for example, after Fukushima earthquake, they decided to close their plants, but our country invest for nuclear energy.
They are trying to.
There's a dilemma.
Well, you have to ask this question to some other places, not to me, because as I said before, I'm totally against, not against shouting at it, not to do it. So what can I say? I mean, I'm not in the power. If I would be in the power of this country, I would never ever allow this nuclear energy come into this country. But this is not in my hand.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. Thank you.
You're welcome.
And after this seminar, Professor, I guess you have an army of 100 person, 100 students behind you. Okay.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
You are welcome. We thank you very much. In fact, okay. And I thank you for what you have done for our students, as we have a limited time. What you have done means a lot for us. You shared your precious knowledge with all students here from Turkey, Romania, Germany, and Ukraine. And in this international seminar, we feel so happy to have you as a guest speaker. We are so grateful and really appreciate your efforts in this Corona period. You know, we are not having normal times, and we really appreciate your efforts for us.
Well, thank you for listening and contribution as well. Anytime,
Okay.
I'm ready.
Okay.